Good Sunday, everybody. Today's Sunday, right? Yes, today is Sunday. Happy Sunday, everybody. It's Hope with Rising Phoenix. I am here to rant. I was gonna do like a specific video and it was all carefully laid out, but this morning, as I was procrastinating leaving my mattress, which is just way too comfortable for its own good, I was scrolling on Facebook and I was in my support group and I saw a post that really motivated me. It really put me on fire. So shout out to the woman who posted this post that I'm about to talk about, because you've like really, like, I don't know, I'm amped up. I'm like riled up because of your post and just some of the comments on there, and like not in a bad way. I'm just inspired. Like, I gotta change minds. I gotta change your guys' mindset. Okay, listen, hear me out, ladies and gentlemen, because you know, I don't know if a lot of you know this, but 40% of domestic abuse violence victims are male. Believe it or not. So, ladies and my gentle peeps, listen. The post said something along the lines of, and this is not verbatim, but it said basically, when did you learn to just shut up and be obedient? And when I saw it, I was like, ugh, squeeze me? No, honey, no. And I was reading some of the comments, and some of them I was like, yeah, you go girl. And y'all know which ones I'm talking about. You know who you are. And then some of them I was like, no, I gotta help. I gotta say something. I gotta inspire. I gotta motivate. I gotta make some people angry. I need to light a fire in some people's bellies, okay? But then I had to take a step back and think about it. Because before I said anything, I wanted to make sure that I'm not that kind of person. So I had to step back. I really did. And I had to really think about the whole when did you shut up and learn to be obedient thing. Like, was I at one point in time during my abuse a shut up and be obedient kind of person? And as much as I am abhorred to admit this, yes, there was a ginormous period of time when I was a shut up and be obedient kind of person. And that started from the abuse in my childhood. There was a point in time in my childhood where I was being physically, verbally, and mentally abused by someone. That's a story for neither here or there. That has been resolved and everything is good on that. I have actually been able to move past that, and ramifications have been made, so I'm happy with that. And that's another story I'll tell you guys some other time. But at that point in time when I was just a little girl and it was happening, all I knew was fear. And that fear pushed me into silence and obedience, because it was not a good situation for me if I messed up. Okay? When you're a kid and you're in that situation and you don't have the ability to defend yourself or even know that what's happening to you isn't normal, you obey. That's that. And then I never realized it as I carried this into my adulthood. But when I got married, I was obedient. Did I put up a fight with him at times? I sure did. Absolutely. I'm not going to say that I was always crawl on my belly and, beg for scraps. But I was obedient. I was obedient when I allowed him to force me into a pool that was so disgusting and dirty it made me sick for almost a month. Like, not just sick, I mean sick. Like, should have been in the hospital with an IV in my vein sick. But it wasn't. Because he didn't think it was that bad. Anyway, I digress. So I was obedient when I allowed him to force me into that water. I was obedient when once again I got into the pool on a day when my ovaries, which I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. You don't know what it is, I'll talk to you guys about it later. And it was a bad day. I was in a lot of pain. And I still got into the pool and it was still very cold. during the winter, and my entire pelvic cramped up and I almost drowned. And he was still disappointed in me because I couldn't do my exercises because I was fat and needed to lose weight. And that hurt me, not because I was upset he didn't care. I was upset because I was a failure. I was so obedient that I considered it my fault that my biology prevented me from doing laps in the middle of winter in a pool outside in the cold. I was obedient when I sat down on the beach waiting for the tide to come in so it could wash me away, because my husband basically said that he wished he had never married me and I was worthless and I was fat and I was disgusting. And I wasn't there to kill myself because I hated me. I was there to kill myself because I wanted to make him happy because I was obedient. Because I loved him. I was obedient when I carried into my last relationship and spent almost 3 years, a little over 3 years, 3 years, something like that. Time is irrelevant. Putting up with abuse, mental and emotional abuse of different sorts. Different, but still just as bad. So yes, there was one point in time I was an obedient abuse victim. But that's not the case anymore. Because here's my thing. Let's take it from the top, starting from childhood. I knew fear and obedience, and I was obedient all the way up until I moved in with my mom. And my mom is the one who taught me the difference between respect and fear and obedience. After I was better, after some time passed and healing happened when I was living with my mom and away from the abuse, I made the right decisions out of respect for my mom. I would step back and think, would my mom be proud of me if I did that? Or my mom specifically told me that she would not be pleased if I partook in this kind of behavior. Or, you know, and she taught me the difference between right and wrong, not because I needed to be afraid, but because learning the difference between right and wrong is a fundamental thing that all children should learn from their parents, right? So, she did her job as a mother, and I learned not to be obedient, but to be respectful. And now I have recently learned that I need to respect myself. That any man or person or being that expects me to shut up and obey and just get over it and let them do as they please and not express my opinion, they don't respect me and they don't believe that I respect them. So therefore, why should I respect them? I'm not going to obey someone who hurts me. I'm not going to obey someone that doesn't respect me. I'm not going to obey someone who treats me like a substandard being, like less than the human that I am. Why should I? Women have scraped and fought their way through history, fighting for every scrap of dignity that we have, for every ounce of freedom that we have, and we did it through ferocity. We didn't do it through subservience and obedience, because that shit didn't work. It's not the 1400s anymore. It's not the 1600s anymore. This is 2021, ladies. And we may not be physically stronger than most men, because genetically we're not designed that way. And God did that for a damn reason. But mentally and internally, we are stronger than them. Can you imagine if a man had to bleed through the tip of his penis for 7 days and have cramps? And bore children for 9 months, having a parasite sucking the life out of you so that it can be alive, and then delivering it through a while your body forces and rips itself open? Can you imagine? Most men I know can't handle a paper cut, okay? That's just how it is. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not bashing on men. It's just true. You guys, when you guys get a cold, it's the end of the world. And in most cases, it's adorable. And we do not mind taking care of you because that's what us women folk are genetically ingrained to do, is to nurture. So it's not really like a horrible thing. But the truth of the matter is they could not do the things that we do. And let's just be honest. Can a king really rule a kingdom without a queen? No. They rely on us as much as we rely on them. And so therefore, partnerships and relationships are not about obedience. It's about, in today's society, it's about respect. It's about trust and communication and treating each other as the equals. Because we women are not just staying at home and having babies anymore and cleaning the house. We're also working 40 hours a week or owning our own businesses and taking care of the kids and taking care of you. So, and that applies for men being abused too. You guys don't need to be disrespected by your women. Stop it. You provide for her, unless you don't have a job and you're a stay-at-home dad, but that is still a job in itself. I know, because I'm a work-from-home mom of a 2-year-old, okay? It is partnership. And if they don't respect you, you don't have to obey them. This is 2021. You're not obligated. You're not stuck by dowries. You're not stuck in arranged marriages. If you're engaged, you can give the ring back. It's not... And I know most situations you're being financially controlled and it's hard for you to leave and it's a lot easier said than done. But the fact of the matter is, the Pope doesn't have control whether or not we can get a divorce anymore. And we don't rely on a monarch to say, no, you don't have to marry him. Okay? I mean, and for another point to drive home, I myself am not a part of this personal community, but I have a lot of friends who are. And several of them, some of them who I trust very much and take their word for it, they have even told me, listen, being a dom to our sub is not about obedience. Yes, I'm the one in control, but the real power lies with the submissive person, because unless they consent to giving themselves to me for that kind of control, I can't touch them. They're the persons with the power. It's all about consent and respect and trust and communication and respect. Like, I can't stop saying the word respect. R-E-S-E-P-C-T. Sure. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Okay, so stop it. Obedience, it's not a thing, okay? Respect is. So if you are in an abusive relationship and you are the shut up and obey kind, I implore you to find your strength. If you can safely stand up and say, excuse me, not today. You're not going to treat me like shit today. Please do it. Find some kind of power. Take back a little bit of your control. You can. It's an absolute must. If you are really truly miserable and you can't handle it anymore, start with something small, like getting some of your dignity back. You do not have to obey anybody. They shouldn't expect or demand it of you either. If they want something, they should know that if you have loved them enough to put up with their fucking bullshit all this time and all the way through, they don't have to demand something of you. They should just be able to ask for it. In a sweet way. Throw in a please, maybe. You deserve that. You deserve that. Every single person deserves to be respected. I said what I said, and I love y'all.